The place to experience Japan's ancient past is Shikoku, an island famous for its Shikoku Henro. The word Henro means pilgrim, and the best way to visit Shikoku is to walk some of its many pilgrimage paths. In so doing, the visitor follows the footsteps of Japan's most celebrated philosopher-poet, the Buddhist monk Kukai, who lived here in the early 9th century. The Shikoku Henro is different from other pilgrimages. The purpose is not about reaching one final destination, it's about the journey itself, a journey divided up into paths that connect 88 temples. The Henro is about restoring body and soul, about self-discovery. From Japan, from overseas, everybody can become a pilgrim, even if they know nothing about the monk Kukai. So let's follow the Henro and discover some highlights of Shikoku, Japan. Isolated from the Eurasian continent, Japan is a country of 7,000 islands. Surrounded by the Pacific Ocean and an inland sea, Shikoku is the 4th largest island. The name Shikoku means 4 provinces and is divided into 4 prefectures. The Henro pilgrimage connects 88 temples in a circular route around the island. Tokushima Prefecture is where it begins, famed for its tidal whirlpools and grand mountain range. To walk part of the Henro is an opportunity to experience traditional Japan, its nature, and its ancient culture. For example, a visit in August is an opportunity to witness one of Japan's most famous festivals. Ryozenji Temple is where the Henro pilgrimage begins, the historical starting point. This is the time to think of the journey ahead. Shikoku's paths will lead us to an older world still present in Japan. Here, we can gain a wider perspective on our lives. So it's time to pause for thought and make a few wishes. Nearly all of Shikoku is hills or mountain. With so much unspoiled nature, it is easy to disconnect from the modern world. Negative thoughts and concerns wash away. The Henro offers relief for the soul, while also challenging our strength. This waterfall was where the monk Kukai is known to have meditated. Make prayers here for further discoveries, for inner peace. The full walk is 1,400 kilometers. Some pilgrims today use a car or bus part of the way. The visitor can walk the Henro for a few days, a week, a month, or longer. Kukai died in the 9th century, but those who walk alone believe they have him as a personal companion. Individual temples are believed to help people in specific ways. The 23rd temple wards off misfortune associated with certain stages in life. Shikoku's Kochi Prefecture has dramatic coastal views along its entire length, and many pristine rivers and streams. Clean water is essential for the traditional handmaking of rice paper, tosawashi. In modern times, this elegant paper is much prized in the restoration of prestigious works of art in Europe. Just beneath Kochi Castle, this Sunday market sells produce from local farms and the ocean. The Henro connects such towns, hamlets and villages where the fresh produce originate. So Kukai's pathways lead the traveller to seasonal foods and tasty new dishes, cooked in traditional ways. Chikurinji Temple also has a specialty. It is known as the Temple of Learning, and Kukai trained here while seeking enlightenment. Students, young and old, pray here for success. Waters purify the soul in many cultures, and the waves of the shoreline achieve the same along the Nagisa Pilgrim Path, which runs towards Cape Ashizuri Misaki. The cape has grand views from its age-worn granite cliffs. The eternity in the geology here puts our brief lifespans into better perspective. Botanical trails continue into this national park, where we find Kongo Fukuji Temple, an oasis within a subtropical jungle surround. The next prefecture is Ehime, and Shikoku's largest city, Matsuyama, known for its castle and haiku poetry. Built in the 17th century, the original castle looks over the modern city. These buildings house hot spring baths, the oldest hot springs in Japan. They are known for their powers to heal and restore, great comfort to the weary pilgrim. You need a restored body to reach the temples higher up. Steep mountain pathways were always the hardest for Henro pilgrims. At Iwayaji Temple, it is time to remember those who have been before. Overlooked by cliffs, the temple building itself is small. Time also to think differently, because it is the mountain itself that is sacred, not so much the temple. Henro paths are marked, even off the mountain trails. Pilgrims also pass through tidy farmlands, quiet back roads, and old village streets. They meet local people, who offer a respectful form of hospitality called osetai. For them, every new pilgrim is a special visitor who is walking and honouring a tradition of more than 1,000 years. Hospitality is also a feature of Ishiteji and its several eateries. It has gained the more modern distinction of a star from the Michelin Guide. After many periods of self-isolation in the mountains, the monk Kukai gained great powers of memory and insight. It was around Mount Ishizuchi that he performed his longest meditations. Shikoku is still a place where life slows down. Kagawa Prefecture faces not to the Pacific Ocean, but to the spectacular array of islands within the Seto Inland Sea. One of them, Shodoshima, or Small Bean Island, was one of the first islands to be born to the gods within the creation myths of Japan. Now, it is known for romantic sunsets. Kagawa is home to 11th century Kotohiragu Shrine. This Shinto shrine involves a climb several hundred steps and houses the deity protecting ships. Many sailors and fishermen come here to pray. Part of Japan's popular food culture was born in this region, Sanuki udon noodles, made from wheat flour and served in a broth of local sea salt. The monk Kukai was born in the year 774 to a family of nobles. This temple, Zentsuji, is believed to be the place of his birth. The henro has been popular with ordinary Japanese people since the 17th century. Pilgrims walked to free themselves from misfortune or to ward off illness. Today's visitors walk to ponder life's challenges, for better health, or to process personal difficulties. Those who walk the entire henro, or who join at a later pathway, eventually come to the final temple at Okuboji. The end of the henro route marks not so much the end of the travel, but a fresh beginning ahead. While being thankful for what has been experienced so far, there is more to explore of Shikoku and Japan. Especially in the period from early spring to summer. This is when Shikoku's nature is at its most impressive and dramatic. Travelling Shikoku, experiencing its incredible nature and the temples within that nature, is to discover the mythology of ancient Japan. And by following the old henro pathways, we can also find something more of ourselves.